What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to speak a bit more about FC Barcelona's 3-2 win against Levante, because once again it was a dramatic win and Barcelona at the last second get all 3 points. And Barcelona, I feel like this team, they're trying to take years off my life. Hansi Flick's high line, the football, the comebacks. Why does Barcelona always start down 2-0? It feels like it's becoming kind of routine, right? We've seen it against Atletico, Real Madrid, Levante, Inter Milan so many times, and Barcelona make the comeback. And Barcelona, right? We're going to talk about some of the good, some of the bad. And listen, guys, if you enjoy FC Barcelona content, this is the channel for you. If you're wondering why I'm a bit dressed up today, it's because, it's the first day of university. So, guys, to make my day easier, smash up the likes, right? Subscribe to the channel. Get down below in the comments, right? Let me know what you guys are saying about Hansi Flick's football, the high line. If you have any doubts about the high line, the system overall, let me know and I will get back to you guys. But guys, going back to the video, right? I do want to start off with a positive, right? Before we get to the negatives, I do want to say Hansi Flick, one thing we do have to commend him for is that the mentality of Barcelona has completely changed. This is a complete U-turn. I remember under Xavi Hernandez, Barcelona, if we went down 1-0, we probably were not winning that game. But now, we're the comeback kings. Barcelona, right now, guys, we are the comeback kings. Barcelona, it feels like every 3-4 games, there's a remontada win. There's always a comeback win, just around the corner. And Barcelona, that's one thing I must credit Hansi Flick. This guy has completely changed the mentality of this football club. And I actually think, overall, that mentality of, Barcelona, if we get punched in the face first, if the opponents score the first goal, Barcelona can fight back. They can score 2-3 goals in the second half and come back, and that's huge. When it comes to winning the Champions League later on, in this year, maybe next year, who knows when Barca's going to win their next UCL, but we have seen Real Madrid just score a flurry of goals in the Champions League, late goals, and they're through to the next round. And Barcelona, with Hansi Flick, they have this trait, and I do think that having the ability to come back is very important, especially in cup competition where it's win or go home, and you have to turn up on that day instead of waiting for the next day, which is there's no tomorrow. Barcelona under Hansi Flick, we have a thing that, we're going to come back right now at halftime. I'm super happy. I don't know what Hansi Flick told the players. I don't know what he said to them in that first half. It was very bad. In that second half, Pedri, awesome. We are so lucky as a fan base to have Pedri, and I feel like Pedri, honestly, the team plays at Pedri's tempo, and we are so lucky to have Pedri Gonzalez, right? And then he sparked the comeback. Ultimately, Lamine, right? He ended it off. Ferran scored a good goal. But guys, I do want to move on to kind of the negatives, and I just got to keep it real with you guys. The high line, it still concerns me. The high line, guys, that back line, whoever we put, it feels like Barcelona, we always concede chances. And I understand a lot of Barcelona fans, they're going to come out and say, hey, Hansi Flick style of play, right? Barcelona, remember when Bayern beat us? We lost 8-2, but we still scored 2. Like, that's what's always going to happen. But I just don't fully buy into that. I feel like Barcelona, Hansi Flick, I don't know if it's just me as a person where I believe that there's always a solution. I believe Barcelona, we can do this. We can play the high line, but we can limit goals. Like, I feel like there is a formula that Barcelona just haven't hit. Maybe it's just pressing better. Like, I don't know what it is, but even with Jan Garcia, we saw Levante time and time again, even Mallorca at times, beat our back line, and Jan Garcia sometimes made the save, right? Against Levante, conceded 2 goals, but to be honest, Levante, for me, got a bit too much chances for my liking, right? And I think that maybe this is going to be a regular occurrence, but I'm just thinking, against a better team, let's say that was Liverpool, guys. Let's say that was PSG. You cannot concede that many chances that you did against Levante to PSG or Liverpool in a semifinal of a Champions League, because they have better attackers. They have Dembele. They have Mo Salah. These guys will not miss. And Levante, let's be honest, they scored 2 goals, 1 off the break, but I'm going to be honest, on another day, they could have scored 2 or 3 more goals, and that just worries me a bit. And guys, I'm not trying to be negative, but Hansi Flick, towards the end of last season, in the games that we conceded some goals against Inter, right, against Celta Vigo, against Real Madrid, time and time again, right, let's be honest, Barcelona's back end of last season was a bit suspect. That backline was fully exposed, and I just worry for Barcelona a bit because Hansi Flick, right, my manager, I love Hansi Flick, I have to say it right now, but Hansi Flick did say that he will address the backline in the preseason at the back end of last season when we were struggling to Celta Vigo, leaking goals, right, against Inter, against Real Madrid. He said towards the back end of last season when Barcelona's defense was fully exposed that in the preseason, which we just passed, we're going to address the backline. He's going to make some tweaks, but we're still seeing the same issues, the same problems that we saw from last season. And I honestly thought it was going to get better. But guys, of course, I will still wait. I still will be patient. Hansi Flick ultimately won the domestic treble with basically nothing last year. You only got really Dani Olmo. But I just have some concerns. But let's move on, right? Because this Levante goal, I do want to talk about. This is a perfect example of the high line wasn't even bad. The high line is just very high up. You see Araujo and Cabarsi and Balde and Eric, he goes towards the ball, which is the right play. I think it's Casado near him too, and they go in behind us. Araujo, of course, I can't play the video because it's copyright, but Araujo tries to save the play with blocking the cross. He doesn't get there, right? And then ultimately Cabarsi kind of gets done by the attacker, and Levante score a goal. And this is just a perfect example of the high line will always get beat by a good run and a good weighted pass. And I'll just put it this way, guys. If I'm Hansi Flick, I'm trying anything and everything to make this high line work because, of course, Hansi Flick, I believe in this high line, by the way. At Barcelona, we won the domestic treble. At Bayern Munich, he won the sextuple, which is no joke. Hansi Flick is a serious manager, and I still believe in the high line, but I'm a person that I'm not here for, you know what, we concede goals. That's just what we do. I believe the high line can be better. I think we can do better with it. And you know what? If I'm Hansi Flick, I'm experimenting every different combination for center backs. I'm experimenting Araujo and Christensen. We saw the work under Xavi. Araujo and Christensen, they put up a defensive record. La Liga record. Araujo and Christensen. So, you know what? I know a lot of people are saying, hey, Araujo, there's some doubts. But listen, we saw Araujo and Christensen do wonders under Xavi. Maybe it's Christensen, Cabarsi. I don't know. Maybe it's Gerard Martin and Araujo for all we know. But guys, what I'm saying is Hansi Flick. If I'm Hansi Flick, I'm experimenting. You know, I'm putting different guys in the lineup. I want to see in the back line who is going to, you know, maximize the pros of the system and minimize the weaknesses, because I think, you know what, a lot of Barcelona fans have said we might need Gerard Martin for the way that we play. And listen, even though I'm not the biggest Gerard Martin fan, I know that this guy can pass. I know this guy understands the high line to a degree, right? So if it's Gerard Martin, fair enough. But guys, let me know what you got. What are you guys saying about the high line, guys? What are you saying about the whole defensive system? For me, I feel like that I'm just a bit concerned, a bit worried in the long term in La Liga. I think we're still going to win it. Real Madrid, fair enough. They beat Oviedo. Not fully convinced by them still, right? Maybe I'm just worrying about the high line a bit too much. But guys, I really believe we can get this to work. And when we get this to work, maybe we can get more clean sheets. But guys, let me know. Is it Gerard Martin? Is it Cabarsi? Is it Araujo? What's your center back partnership that you'd play? Guys, let me know if I'm overreacting to the high line. It was just one game against Levante, but I feel like we can get more out of it. Be in the comments, smash up the likes, subscribe. I will see y'all soon. Support your boy, Visca Barca.